Get in line in front of the strips. Go! What we are practicing right now is the fundamentals of hostile encounters, fighting outside warfare.
Far from all the noise about Ultra-Orthodox or Haredi enlistment, some here near the Egyptian border are already in training. A small company, 35 Haredi boys, drafted after October 7th and are now learning to be soldiers.
All right, back to training. No more interviews. From now on, training.
One of those who saw battle is Captain Shmuel. 5 years ago, he was a private, here in the Haredi battalion. On October 7th, he fought and later entered Gaza, until the IDF decided to pull him out to prepare the next generation.
We entered Gaza, got almost as far as Shati, 15 days, and then they told me I have to leave to form a new company. Of course I tried to resist. I wanted to be where it is most challenging. But if they need a will, then I'll be a will. I did believe I had a substantial role in battle, but they wanted someone who grew out of the same company. It is very important that commanders will be from our own company, because we can understand our soldiers.
Many here mark October 7th as a turning point. Looking at the numbers in comparison to last year's draft, there's no spike. There's even some disappointment.
Yeah, I know the numbers. I follow them. I really think that October 7th, it's no trigger that sets something special off. Of course, it was used as, now a soldier will say it mattered because it touched all of us. I think perhaps in the future it will have an impact.
You're saying it's too soon to tell what effect the war has on Haredi society?
Yes, totally.
The war might not have brought loads of Haredim to the draft office, but it may have saved this combat company from being abolished. What has changed for sure is the treatment they receive from Haredi neighbors. Has the war changed how you're treated?
Yes, more people get why I do it. Family, strangers.
Walking on your parents' street?
Yes.
Different looks.
Different looks.
The question whether a Haredi in the IDF is really a Haredi is always in the background. But when it comes to one soldier, there seems to be little doubt.
I'm the only soldier in my community. 600 families across the country, and I'm the only one. I went to yeshiva. I come study, and still I had a kind of love for soldiers, Zionism and such.
Zionism?
And many times I felt this itch. Sometimes I wanted it a little. 1 month I was bent on enlisting. The next I said, nah. Despite studying a couple hours a day and working on the side, I was a brat, but not really. I was a good boy. I thought I could do my part, and it doesn't contradict my faith and religion. Where I come from, I'll keep wearing black and white, and uniform too. It doesn't clash.
Treidel is the only one drafted before the war. An infected leg caused him to drop out of boot camp, but he insisted on retrying from the beginning.
My entire class was talking. Treidel is enlisting, Treidel is enlisting, everyone. And then the neighbors heard. Word travels fast.
And what's the word?
I was approached for a marriage. At the time, I was a candidate for a fix-up.
It affected that?
Affected? It's done. I'm a C-level guy now in the Haredi world.
Really?
Yes, no question.
This young man, the most A-level guy, I knew before making this story, from his active Twitter account where he shares the life of a Haredi soldier.
Before I enlisted, I went to the Western Wall. I tweeted about this on Memorial Day.
How many likes?
5,500. Yep.
You see, there's an audience for this Haredi drafting story.
Of course, most aren't Haredi.
Were there nasty comments?
Of course, there were a lot, but I blocked them.
Read them to me.
I don't care. If you want to spew your poison, don't do it on my dime.
We can call you the poster boy of Haredi recruitment. When seculars imagine Haredis in the army, that's you. Shows how special you are.
Correct.
But it also shows what an exception you are.
True, real talk. I am an exception. In Bnei Brak, I'm obviously an exception.
Even here, Tridal stands out. When you try to figure out if Haredi recruits are really Haredi. Even if you don't call them Haredi, that's where they hail from, and also where they return with a chance to make a change. For decades, a non-mandatory recruitment of Haredim has been a hot topic in Israel. It hasn't always borne fruit, but these guys who stepped forward are convinced it's the only way. The question is whether the IDF can keep waiting, whether Israeli society will keep accepting the status quo, especially when seeing these guys rolling in the dunes shows it is possible. Now some say maybe the war will change it.
For now, it doesn't look it.
What's that mean?
You don't see it. Look, we're here. How many? 30? 35?
And not how many?
Not hundreds, sure, but yeah, I don't have an answer for that.
Someone might say if the war won't change this, then nothing will.
Perhaps.
What needs to be done? Not by the Haredi society. What does the general public need to do?
Many times I've posted on Twitter and gotten replies. You're the only one. All kinds of nasty comments. The Haredi soldiers we have, hug them. Don't approach with hate saying, why don't you, the Orthodox, enlist? And don't call them parasites. I think it can only come from love.